Yeah, and I mean, as I guess a bonus mention, D has obviously another player on that side to keep an eye on. He can really pop off and take over a game on his own, even, and leave everyone else in the dust. We've seen him do it in the past. And a map here like Mirage, I would say, is a good place to make it happen as well.
Well, we are getting right into the action. No messing about here on the B stream. Eyeballers, of course, starting on the T side of Mirage. And Hades, well, playing a little bit like a T here. Very proactive in his initial plays up towards top of mid. Rips the head off for one. Does take a dink in response and got to be a little careful here. He's trying to bait them into the crossfire. There's a couple of players wandering in through underpass who could do some damage, and indeed they do. Poi able to catch Hades on rotation. Demq takes a dink inside of the window, and suddenly this goes from a fantastic start to a very sketchy situation with JW taking control in towards window. He's got a backstab onto this B site, and they're very conscious of the possibility, but how much can they realistically hold on to? They're trying to get a player up onto Ninja, but JW on the backstab here is going to be completely unexpected. Demq, he's out with his knife out. It's a freebie of a kill. At least it's the low HP player, but JW continues to wreak havoc. Diha finally able to put him down, but 3-on-2, the bomb site has been lost, and for Sticko and Diha, it's going to take something a little bit special to retake it.
Yeah, both two very capable players, though, in these clutch situations, and that's already been proven with Sticko picking up that initial frag. Diha's facing both of them down here from short, and does manage to hold it off long enough to allow the distance to be closed in. Sticko has the shot here, golden without Kevlar, 44 health, and that doesn't matter when he eats a bullet to the dome. That's going to be the retake coming through from Monte. As you said, they needed something special. They got it. And that's a very strong start here from Monte, as we said, on the map choice of Eyeballers, and we were a little bit surprised by it. Losing the pistol round, though, it's not too surprising. It's always a volatile one slightly. I feel like they maybe let a few too many shots be missed there when they got that double swing on short, though. That's what
definitely felt that way. I mean, it's one of those ones, you are 3-on-2, right? You've just got to trade out your kills. It's simple as that. And if you can't do so, if you let a few too many of those shots go awry, the USPSs rather are going to go for the punishment. Of course, with the bomb down, they would have had opportunity to force up, and they've actually gone very util heavy here. JW, of course, on the scout up towards top of mid, but not able to get any impact out of it. And, well, I'm really surprised, actually, that we don't see more Galils brought into this round. They've gone util heavy, but it's not working out at the moment. Poi looking to change that. A nice shot onto Demq as he fumbles with the FAMAS, but very quickly traded back away again. And this is the problem with this kind of a force buy. You've just given the firepower advantage over to the CT side, and well, they're not going to take any risks in the current meta. They're going to go M4 heavy, which is exactly what we've seen from them, and it's worked out exactly how you'd expect it to. 3 M4s kept up. Krasnal, he's got an MP9, would like to salvage something a little bit better, but he's too high in the B apartments to get anything done. Either way, very smooth sailing, very clean round, and Monte off to the best of possible starts.
Yeah, now they have a chance to just shut down an eco. There's a Deagle being invested into, it looks like, and not really else coming out in the hands of Eyeballers. So this one should be quite straightforward. It'll be an early 3-0 lead, and we're going to need to see Eyeballers coming alive then in the early moments. Otherwise, it's going to be trouble heading forward. Eyeballers, I don't think they have quite as much to play for. Even a win here, considering they've lost out their further 3 matches so far, it'll not put them in a great position. Monte, on the other hand, have the chance to almost solidify themselves towards that middle group.
And he's going to go for a bit of a wander. Take advantage of some of that early HE damage, deals with Pepsor. That's what you kind of want to see from Hades in this round. Of course, he is traditionally the AWPer. He's been dropped the MP9 to try and farm up some cash, which, well, is all that you're really looking for if you're Monte in this round. If you're Eyeballers, a couple of picks would be fantastic off of these pistols, but so far, nothing really coming to the fore. Krasnal gets a nice kill over towards B. Hades able to capitalize on the initial damage over towards A, and if you're Eyeballers at this stage, you just really want this round to be over. Don't want to be sitting in it for too much longer. Hope that maybe you can get a kill or two, but as Demq deals with Golden out of mid, this is starting to feel very one-dimensional, and Hades will be hoping that he can pick up a couple more kills before this round is good and done. JW wants to try and get something done with the Deagle, but there is absolutely nothing there for him. Clean as you like. Simple stuff executed well. Hades 7-1, Monte 3-0, and now we need to see the response from Eyeballers.
Yeah, we put Demq as our player to watch, but he hasn't had a chance to do much yet. He was backing Hades up on mid earlier, ate the nade for his troubles, and got shut down. And Hades, on the other hand, is getting a chance to clean up some eco rounds. But as you said, that's what they needed. He has tons of money left over, even after pulling out the op. Right now, they've got all the utility they could ask for coming into this initial gun round. I wouldn't mind another kit. Only Sticko has one for some reason.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, I mean, it could still come back to bite them if it gets lost in an awkward spot. Eyeballer's working with just the rifles, no op in play, but we'll be going heavy on mid either way as the nade combines with the spray. They can play out a play. Didn't mean to make that rhyme, just happened.
You're just magical like that.
Yeah, I am.
Eyeballers in need of a bit of magic here. Already a man down. They're going for this mid control, but Hades posted on short. If Golden gets even an inch too wide, he's going to be in so much trouble. Does just shoulder the angle. A little bit of something to work with as they're going to look to charge down the AWP, in fact. Trying to put a bit of pressure in towards ladder room, in towards short. Heap has worked his way up. D has got no idea here. Heap whiffs the spray horrendously. D somehow able to recover that situation. Luckily, Golden is in a position where he can at least try and trade it down. But the man advantage really should have been leveled out. Instead, persists for Monte a little while longer. And you can see a little bit of confusion from Eyeballers. Not quite sure where they want to take this one. Golden does very well to get a pick. Swinging on the short player. And it's still an awkward fight as they try and initially head towards B. Pepsor just swinging into Hades. That AWP isn't going to miss shots like that. Which leaves JW and Golden, the old guard, to try and get something done. There's just too many angles, not enough time. Golden, he's done well on his backstab to get one, but he's down to 3 HP. And with 25 seconds on the clock, there's really nothing more he can do. Cleaned out nicely enough. Monte on the 4-0 in the first rifle round. I won't say it's dealt with easily or simply, because it was definitely a little sketchy around the edges, but they got the job done.
Yeah, and they had the room to let things slip away a little bit with a couple of players dropping because those initial few rounds were so clean. The economy is still thriving, even with the reinvestment, and on the other hand, Eyeballers aren't really in all that great of a position without the bomb being planted. We'll just see pistols, a little bit of utility as well. Heavy on the smokes, so I'm expecting a straight up execute, and it looks like it's going to be over towards this A-bomb site, where currently there's not all that heavy presence with the initial two-man B play and the heavy mid presence that's been put in. So these smokes could give them a chance to perhaps at least get in and get that bomb down, and who knows, maybe have a shot then in the after plant.
That's what they'll be hoping for. These kind of half-by situations, couple kills, bomb plant, it's a fantastic result for a T side if they can get away with it. Game of timings as well, as Eyeballers will just hope that by sitting a little more passively and towards A main, they'll bleed out some more util from the CT side. Cost them a little bit more money before the execute comes in, and here it does come. Counter util floods out from the CT side immediately, looking to lock off Palace ahead of the smoke. It's Nico Hades as well playing in front of his, and a couple of quick kills make it a third. Hades is feeding on this half-by. 11-1, he looks to continue his reign of terror. JW now absolutely locked in. DemQ even trying for the jump shot, not to be. And well, that's not the kind of round you want if you're Eyeballers. All 5 alive. Monte looking clean as you like, feeding the AWPer, getting him nice and warmed up for when the rifles come out.
Yeah, Hades is thriving here in the early game. 11-1. Everyone else is kind of just chilling. Sticko's had a few moments as well. He hasn't even died yet, actually. Currently 7-0. I wouldn't have minded a tactical pause coming out here from Eyeballers before coming into this gun round, because if they don't get going now, then I don't see when they are going to. This is very quickly going to spiral out of control. Early mid-control looking to be the goal here for Eyeballers. They have heavy presence going over towards the B side of things as well. I was thinking maybe to go out through under, but no. JW wanted that op fight early on, and he finds it against Hades. But he doesn't come out looking good, unfortunately. Loses his life for his efforts, and well, he's still got a fairly aggressive play in here on mid that is punished heavily. Perfect nade to reveal both of those aggressive players. D-Had at least pulls one back with the nade, but well, a 3-on-3 right now where mid-control has pretty much been all but lost. Although D-Had doesn't really seem to understand that. He wants to go back in and take the fight once again. Spotted the player under the window as well, but he's not able to get away with it. A 1-for-1 trade is all he finds, and how the hell did Heap get onto B? Hades had no idea, and neither did I.
Don't think anyone did, to be honest with you, other than Heap, who's just charged on in. Kraz now thrown into a 2v1. The bomb is a long way from home here, which is going to make it very sketchy indeed. You can see Kraz now, I think, a little wary by the fact the bomb hasn't actually gone down, so he's playing this one nice and passively, clearing his corners initially. Heap posted up on the AWP out towards Van. Got to imagine he's going to be watching the crack angle towards market window. Indeed he is. Molotov goes down. That'll deny Kraz now the push. And will allow for that bomb to transition smoothly enough into the site. With 35 seconds left, plant will go down. Krasnow's got a lot of util here if he wants to use it, but instead, shoulders the angle initially. Heap on the second time of asking will take his shot. And courtesy of a little bit of magic in towards mid, a little bit of perhaps overconfidence from Monte, Eyeballers are on the board.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of a chaotic round. They managed to just kind of thrive on the chaos and the trades. There's one way to make it happen. The up in play now as well for JW. There's not a lot of money left over though, so eyeballers do need to chain some rounds together, and if they can take this one, the economy of Monte will actually be hurting. It won't be completely destroyed. They'll still have some weapons and such. They would be running on fumes at that point. Early mid nades as always, baiting out the smokes and such from the CT side as well. Not looking to go too heavy though. It doesn't seem that nade did not work out. Although Pi is charging straight through that short smoke. Might catch the retreat here through connector. Demq, if he's not ready for it, has no idea he's up close on short. Somehow not quite getting the angle for the fight, but I believe he knows he's there. He did indeed. The problem is he stuck around so long, it gave Hades time to come in and back him up.
They are going to try and pop B off the back of that, though. A good amount of mid control gathered. Krasnow flashed off his angle at first, gets a little bit of damage, but not the kill he would have wanted. And now JW able to chime in on that AWP. Hades desperately trying to rotate into a position to support. Krasnow needs a couple of quick shots here, manages to get at least one off. And Krasnow up on top of that bin is somehow still alive in this 3-on-3. Molotov goes in to try and deny the plant, and Krasnow creeping through the smokes around the bin has found himself yet another kill. Fantastic damage from the B-site anchor. Doing so well just to stay alive here, and he's bought so much time for the rotation in. Stiko in a fantastic position. JW, yes, he deals with Hades, but again, Krasnow tagged up. Still alive and kicking, still able to have impact, and they're just trying to draw this rifle into Stiko on short, but it's a fluffed spray to start with, and Golden on 20 HP has got a golden opportunity here. 33 for Stiko. Bomb in no man's land around the site. Footsteps being made. Sound cues being heard. Stiko's timing on this peak could well be everything. He's going to go for the molly. Going to go for the double molly. Deny the plant. Keep Golden on his toes. And he's pushed all the way up short here. Golden, there's not enough time to exit, but the angle is there. He works it to perfection. Stiko just getting caught a little off guard by the positioning of Golden there. And it takes it down to the last man. But eyeballers have their second. And they have Monte on the ropes financially.
Fantastic work. They've edged out a couple of rounds now that have put them, as we said, in a pretty good position with the economy just about funding a decent enough buy here. They don't have the nades, they don't have a kit to work with. Hades at least has an up in play, which is definitely going to be a threat, which is something eyeballers clearly realize, calling in a pause now. Again, not winning these rounds as cleanly as I think they would like. Looking for a little bit of a switch up here.
Definitely need to start tidying up the edges, shall we say. None of these rounds have felt consistent or repeatable yet.
Surprised we haven't seen a more standard mid-control play with the players out your under as well. They've been avoiding that, but to be fair, Monte at least 2 or 3 times now have put players aggressive out watching that on their play, so perhaps it's specifically to avoid that.
Yeah, we saw it on the pistol, and they haven't really tried it again since, so maybe something they'll look to incorporate. This buy going to be a little sketchy for Monte, so the perfect opportunity to maybe try something a little different if you're the eyeballers. Demq drops down to an MP9. Hades, well, we said we didn't want to pick him as a player to watch twice. He's looking for the punishment of that. 14 and 3 so far, post the AWP in towards under. As you said again, very conscious of the possibility of that underpass control, just not quite coming through as Krasnow's flashed off his first angle. And well, Monte, they want a bit of a brawl into mid here. Hades misses his initial shot. There's the punishment. The counter swing is decent, though, and Krasnow comes in with a big double kill. Diha there to back his man up, and the mid crunch works out nicely. The man advantage now there for Monte. Just a question of can they hold on to it. Heap still lurking in out Palace. Diha playing the timings on this mid swing. Spots the man headed into Con. Gets his kill cleanly. And at this point, I mean, Heap, it's just a really tough position to find yourself in. Stuck in Palace. 3 players on this CT side waiting for you to overswing. Although, having said that, he gets a lovely little headshot onto Diha to try and open it up. Not too much more, however.
Yeah, Demq had just been chilling the entire time. Hadn't shown himself. And a free kill then because of that distraction, of course, coming through. 6th round on the board for Monte, and now eyeballers are in trouble. Their loss bonus, of course, had begun to get knocked down a couple of pegs. Even with the 2400 they got, they just do not have much to really invest in this round. Perhaps a few pistols, a smoke or 2. I wouldn't expect a lot more than that. I mean, Monte likely take a 7-2 lead, and eyeballers at that point will want to turn things around with the final 3 rounds, I would imagine, in their favor. That's going to be a difficult task.
Yeah, they've not left themselves a lot of breathing room on their map pick, have they?
No. Anubis is another map they play a lot of, but again, their stats aren't fantastic. Fairly middling as they are here on Mirage, so we thought it was a bit of a strange pick. And again, they only lost 13-1 earlier today. They did then pick up a win afterwards, 13-9 if I'm remembering correctly, but still a 13-1 loss, that doesn't go away immediately. That clearly means there are some issues that can be exploited.
Monte exploiting them plenty so far. And those financial woes coming back to bite the eyeballers yet again. Onto the half-buy, onto the pistols. Initial mid-smoke doesn't yield them anything, so they just reset to work their way towards the A site. Hades, I don't think saw JW there. Timing on his jump peak slightly off, so there's potential for that P250. Up close to maybe catch the man a little off guard. Rest of the team looking to group in toward the A bomb site. Couple at Palace, couple at Ramp. There's one flashbang for Golden here to maybe try and get his team into some kind of a position to get something done. But realistically, a matter of, can you get a couple of kills? Can you maybe skim that bomb plant? Stiko goes for an early swing, deals with Golden. That's the flashbang on the ground pretty much instantly. Demq gets the better of the P250. That's a nice shot from Pepsol, though, and he'd be able to combine with one more of his own, making this at least a little bit expensive before Hades puts him into the grave. So a couple of kills out of the Deagles. It's not the end of the world. The problem is, at this point, realistically, they need every single round that's left to be taken in this first half.
Yeah, and, well, that's more than they've got so far. Definitely an achievable task, though. Krasnal, unfortunately, wasn't able to upgrade his FAMASTA, and he had to drop the rifles there, so it did have a fairly decent impact in that regard. Kept the economy quite low here as well, so if they take this first round, the economy will be pretty much broken on the side of Monte. Hades wants this early pick on mid, just gets smoked off. Still has the angle, though. To take the shot a little bit too early, unfortunately, and the double nades towards top mid aren't quite able to land the damage I think they were expecting. Creep out a ramp. They may want to move quickly towards A here in general, but
JW
kills because they don't have the bomb in their possession. JW mollied it, I believe, and forced to either take the fight forward or try and retreat towards ramp, where Sticko was waiting for him, of course, watching the cross.
Nice counter call made by Monte as well. The initial aggression's backfired for the T side, so let's take some control of our own. Two-man play towards the ramp. Flirting with the smokes. Heap. Well, information gathered as the HE goes over the top. They know there's a man waiting. Can't quite find his kill, Stiko, but his teammate's there to back him up. And again, well set. Crossfires established. Krasnal even chiming in from short with the FAMAS, but this is looking like a mighty defense at the moment from Monte. Eyeballers don't seem to have a way to crack it open. Couple of isolated rounds, all that they've managed to string together. And, well, for Monte, it's looking a little too easy for my liking. This isn't their map pick. Remember, this is the map pick of Eyeballers. It's a map that Monte go towards a hell of a lot, though. And clearly, they are incredibly comfortable on it.
Yeah, I think the idea in that round for Eyeballers was to pressure both on A and Connector at the same time, make sure that they didn't have the ability to help each other and just see if they could win out in the trades, because they definitely weren't fully committing. The bomb was still all the way back in spawn. But yeah, this is pretty much spiraling completely out of control, as you said here on Eyeballers' map choice. Heavy over towards A, just a little bit of presence initially shown on mid to make it feel like it's same old as we've seen with that early mid presence. Now they're going to go straight in towards A. Demq is waiting in connector. You've got Sticko back towards the spawn, and they really don't have much utility to put a stop to this execute once it comes in. He's not immediately on hand.
No, there's a decent bank available. We've seen this a handful of times, though, from the Eyeballers, and thus far it's not really gained them anything. Molotov goes in towards the ramp to at least stall for a few seconds, but the wall of smokes is up. The site is unoccupied, and, well, Eyeballers, this is about as successful as these executes have realistically been. It's the closest they've got to getting into a site, but Demq is having none of it. Hoy does very well, reacts to the situation, gets proactive above the smoke. Hades now nestled into CT. Demq taking a lot of damage as well. Pop flash is good. Hades will have to retreat off the angle. Counter smoke goes in. They're doing a fantastic job here, Eyeballers, just stalling for time. With a two-man play in towards CT, this is going to be a tough nut to crack for the CT side. Monte looking to queue up on the edge of this smoke, but the bomb's already halfway ticked. Nice trade initially, but then Poi swings in. The Galil sings out, and Krasnal slinks back into the relative safety of Connector, just looking for exits, but it's going to be nothing. A third round on the board, and you have to say 4 is the bare minimum for the Eyeballers.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get it up to 4, take that pistol round and get off to a decent start on the CT side, then we've still got a fight definitely ahead. But that fourth round is a necessity, as is the pistol round. If they drop the pistol, then chance of potentially going down 3-0 and allowing an 11 round scoreline for Monte would just be too much, I think, to overcome. So it needs to be pretty much flawless from here on out. The buy for Monte, on the other hand, not flawless at all. 2 MP9s, there is an up, but it's glass cannon. There's no kit in play, very little utility as well to back it up. And a big chance for eyeballers, as we said, to get this fourth round. It's the leg shot on the D-Ha, long range with the MP9. He makes it work. Demq backing up Sticko there as they move in towards ramp is good for the trade. And a man advantage has been obtained here from Monte, and it looks like Demq, at least being cautious there of Palace, should be able to fall back without getting caught. No, actually wants to stick up close instead.
I don't mind it.
Yeah,
Change the position up.
Triple as well, I believe.
Yeah, give yourself a new angle to work with. Hades well placed, as you said, posted up. JW desperately unlucky to hit the leg onto Diha. Any other gun, he wins that fight 10 times out of 10, and Diha is left looking the fool, playing a little too proactively for a solo player. Instead, man up. Krasnow's going to make the rotation towards B, so it is just going to be Demq and Hades, and as you pointed out earlier, Hades without the armor, up against, well, a complete set of utility realistically for the eyeballers. Everyone's got everything except Golden, and he's managed to pick up a molly to make the full set for himself. So plenty of utility to try and flush this AWPer out. Takes extra damage, of course, with the lack of armor. Oh, a dink from Demq onto Golden, despite the flames licking at his feet. It's not going to be enough. Golden does go down to the AWP. Man advantage kept up for now. There's the HE. There's the lack of armor. There's the punishment. Pepsaw. HE wallbang. Krasnow trying to be proactive with it. Does find himself a lovely little kill, though, and the trade is there. 9-3 as we head to the halftime. 9-3 first half, not what eyeballers would have hoped for when they picked this map up against Monte. Not the worst in the world. There's definitely still a possibility of recovery, but it needs to start now, Dean, and it has to start with this pistol.
Yeah, we knew it wasn't the safest pick. I mean, even if we were just looking at today's results, we know it's an up and down one for eyeballers, and well, unfortunately, this looks to be one of their down games thus far. Let's see if things are going to switch up, as you said here now, with a strong start to their CT side. It's going to be a heavy B play. The dual Berettas are up close in a perfect position to make this happen. He showcases his position. He'll get away with a kill, and for now is running that clock down. This is fantastic. Golden does a decent job initially from the bench. Unfortunately, Hades turned things around pretty quickly, and well, he's known to do such a thing. Pi gets dinked down and finished off. Hades, in the meantime, joins in again with a kill on Heap, and JW's flank had been noted. He wasn't quiet exactly about charging his way through the apartment. They needed to get into position to help his teammates, but they were gone before he could make it.
Bomber's gone before he can make it as well. Hightails it over towards the A bomb site.
Yeah.
Hades is a little slow to react to that information. If JW was maybe 10% faster, this could have got sketchy, but unfortunately, he's just not quite in the right position at the right time. Stiko able to capitalize on the low HP bar, courtesy of that dink, finishes the job. And at 10-3, I mean, we said it had to start with that pistol. It hasn't, and now this one feels like it's more than likely a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see the force come in from eyeballers. They want to give themselves a chance to fight, but if this doesn't work, then they're on an eco or the very best force buy that's maybe slightly better than this one to avoid a 12th round going on the board for Monte, and at best then they'd be fighting for an overtime, which is never fun. Straight up B rush. I think they're keeping it simple on the Monte side here.
Why
Looks
not?
to be a perfect call. Only one player on B right now. Golden's alone.
They're actually going to contact it with a little bit of util over the top as well. And as you said, Golden, well, he's desperately lonely backside here. The util comes out from the T side. Golden does very well, actually, to even get one here. Should have been overwhelmed and continues to find damage. Golden out of nowhere. A monster triple kill, and he's bought his team a lifeline. Demq stuck behind bench, 38 HP and a Mac 10, never going to be able to get the job done. And Golden, I mean, we didn't see it, but a triple kill out of absolutely nowhere that buys his team a desperately needed lifeline.
Was that Golden smoke on bench? Because I know he had one. He didn't have a chance to throw it up in the apartments. He only got the nade off, and I think dropped his smoke on bench, and it was just perfect for him to play around. As you said, we didn't quite catch the kills, but must have been fairly solid shots either way. It was the way he played the situation to me that's more impressive. Still need the accuracy to back it up though, so yeah, good work. Golden being the one that's popping off right now is not really what we expected for eyeballers, but it is a nice little bonus if they can go ahead and find a little bit of performance elsewhere as well now to start pulling this back on the CT side.
Oh,
solid enough nade, a couple steps forward more, and I'd have even seen a kill perhaps towards Demq.
got a decent number of rounds to play with here, Monty, so they've gone for a little bit of a bonus. And well, JW's gone for a little bit of a wander. Gives his life up. Poi is there to back his man up, though. And Dia, yeah, shouldn't be expecting someone this close, this personal. The Galil, plenty of bullets, so just pray and spray from Poi. Gets the job done. Settles us back down into the 4-on-4. And as we said, Hades has got the hero rifle here, and Hades is putting it to work. A couple of kills before he goes down. That AK definitely in a recoverable position as well, and Demq smells it out. This is still very, very sketchy for the CT side. Hades AK doing a lot of heavy lifting has bought them a golden opportunity here. Demq tagged up, though. Low HP with that AK in hand now. Golden and Heat. Just a matter, surely, of mopping up these remaining kills. Stiko down to 49. Krasnal on 73. Neither of them high-flying fraggers for this T side. Everybody just taking this one very cautiously. Heaps worked his way over towards the B-bomb site, conscious of any kind of a flank. Timing from Golden is horrendous. Demq gets the swing, gets the kill, and, well, he should have got the round here. There isn't any util, but they don't have to cross that bomb to get the plant. This short play from Heap isn't going to spot anything out, surely. Might get a timing if he goes quickly. But as the bomb transitions to site, he doesn't look that bothered by it. Bomb is going to go down, and, well, despite the low HP bars, I'm not sure Heap can justify giving this 1v3 a go. If he gets an early kill, then maybe it's on, but given the financial frailty of eyeballers and how little room they've got to breathe, they could do with that rifle into the next round. The bomb already a quarter of the way ticked, and yeah, the vent's shut, mate. You're shut out of this round.
Yeah, at this point it's about just, of course, saving the M4, having something to work with here in the next round. He is the poorest of the entire team. JW should be able to just about pull out a rifle. Elsewhere, it'll be FAMAS's at best. Maybe MP9s if they want the utility to back it up as well. Not a good position to be in. Monte just immediately avenging that round loss and doing so in a pretty solid fashion. Golden's aggression maybe was a bit unnecessary, but they were in a 2-on-3, unsure of exactly what was going on. You can understand the need maybe to make that play happen. Fortunately, the timing just didn't work in his favor, and well, eyeballers again now are staring down the barrel. This is, again, as we mentioned before, their map choice. Anubis coming up next, sure is one they can play, but it's a very strong map for Monte.
It's the map they went to beat Koi last week.
Yeah.
A map that really plays to their strength as well. You know, we talk about the individuals, we talk about the firepower, pug style. Anubis is all of that in a nutshell. Could really do with some stiffer resistance for the eyeballers here. Gonna make a play in towards mid. Poi and Pepsor gonna have a little bit of a wander up, see if anyone's given their position away, anyone's given up a peek, but nothing to be found in these opening moments as Monte opting for a relatively passive one. I think realizing the financial situation for eyeballers as well, knowing there's likely some sacrifices in the firepower department, knowing that as a result, there's probably a proactive play somewhere as Hades doesn't land that window smoke. Stiko is about to rage at a volume never before heard by man. Diha, though, looking at bail his in-game leader out. Stiko, despite the mid-smoke, rails the head of JW for a freebie. Poi does very well inside a connector to even get one. The pop flash out is good, but it blinds both of them simultaneously. Kraz now quick to find that trade. And for Golden and Heap, it's miracle time. Heap's got the rifle in towards CT. Smoke goes down. Golden hopes for the miracle shot through it, but it's 1 in a million, and he's not riding his luck today. Heap has managed to sneak a gap, though. Just about catches the timing. We'll be able to deal with Krasnal as a result. Almost immediately, though. Demq trades it through the smoke. Stiko finds another clean headshot. Hades currently rocking 24 and 8. They're trying to catch up with him. I don't think they're going to have the time to do it, though. 12-4.
Yeah, Hades is a little bit ahead in the frag department. By that we mean massively. Had a fantastic first half, of course. We did put Demq as our player to watch, but only because in all our previous matchups when we cover Monte, we do say Hades because we almost are certain that he is going to perform. Demq is almost the extra gear that they can go into then when he shows up. Diha, another one that can go ahead and give them that push forward as well. It's just, as we said, a lot of talent on that side. And well,
Huge
eyeballers
amount.
are feeling it at the moment, aren't they?
Feeling the pain. Setups for an A execute.
Good flash from
Heap and
JW being
JW.
held, though. Yeah, this is...
It's in a nice spot. That MP9 up close and personal. They do need a lot out of it, though. Somewhere here, that flashbang's got to find a huge kill. Diha up on the ledge won't be spotted by the Palace aggression. At the very least, if you're looking for silver linings from this CT side, they're almost all in the right place. Golden, the only one nestled towards the B-bomb site. Molotov is going to force Heap's hand a little bit, though, and Demq, of course, there to punish. Nice shot from Pepsor, and they're going to need some more where those came from. They need those swift 1Ds. Demq continuing to strip back the MP9s, and there's nothing more. Resistance is futile, become assimilated to the Monte. Golden to try.
Has he got another big play in the back pocket?
I mean, this is...
This one's too much to ask.
There's
but
big, and then there's this. 1v4.
I wasn't expecting the mad 3k with the Deagle either, to be fair. No,
Job
it's not
done.
gonna happen though. Shut down. Yeah, I mean, that one, we kind of said when we seen the veto that Mirage was a strange choice. Then we looked at the fact that already they had suffered a 13-1 loss, and we knew it was a risky one, and unfortunately they just didn't show up in form. Monte taking a very clean victory and well, really setting themselves up now to move on to Anubis and maybe put an end to the 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, look, we said it when we came into this, right? We said this map pool, it's not great for eyeballers. They've not really got anywhere safe to go. They've been on a tragic streak at the moment, just can't seem to buy a win on no matter where they are or what they're playing. So it's never fun to be in that situation. They've tried to pull something out of the hat. They've tried to go to that Mirage pick. It's not worked out. Demq, I mean, he was our player to watch. He's put up a very admirable performance, but Hades was just on another level. Absolutely lights out. And it just stunk that same problem. You know, we talked about eyeballers. If you want to bring up young talent, you need 1, 2 superstars, even a superstar and an anchor. You need some young individuals to really step up to the plate. And that's just not the case with this lineup right now, right? The only players who are stepping up and having moments, it was Golden and JW. And those are the two players who you need to be your floors to allow the youngsters to be the ceiling. And it almost feels like the inverse right now. And that's just not a formula for success.
Yeah, I mean, players like Heap, maybe you'd be expecting a little bit more out of. So hopefully now moving on to Anubis, they will be able to show us a better side. Because again, Anubis is a map that they play a ton of. Their stats aren't amazing. They can be a little bit inconsistent there. As we said, they can be on Mirage as well. But I mean, if they're willing to pick Mirage, perhaps they'll be able to turn things around now on Anubis. We do unfortunately have to wait until after the break, of course, guys. So stick with us. We're going to have Anubis coming up next. And who knows, maybe as the decider afterwards, I've actually lost the match. I'm forgetting what the decider is. Help me here.
Nuke's the decider if we need it.
If we do need it. Yeah, we were saying that's a weird one. It's kind of weak for both teams. So perhaps there is a position where you could see the Monte side being exploited a little bit more. So if somehow they can turn it around on Anubis, I would say there is some hope.
Yeah, definitely feels that way. But as you said, we've got to get past Anubis first. And to get past Anubis, we've got to get past this break. So bear with us and we will be back very, very shortly. Well, welcome back. And if you missed it, which to be fair is perfectly reasonable, you could have blinked and it would have passed you by. Monte made light work of map 1. The Eyeballers not putting up much resistance whatsoever on their map pick and Mirage, looking very, very lackluster. And Monte doing what they do best, taking full advantage of the situation, the individuals popping off. Now, Anubis is next up on the card. Dean, tell me how, tell me why, and tell me where Eyeballers stand half a chance of winning this one.
I mean, if we're looking at recent performances, Eyeballers did actually beat Nexus on Anubis today in an overtime matchup, so that was a pretty decent show, and I spotted them. There are a few games before that didn't look too fantastic, and a couple of those games were against I would say, slightly weaker teams as well. On the other hand, Monte's last couple of games also haven't gone too well on Anubis, despite it being in general one of their much better maps. They had a fantastic win streak before their last 2 games, where they have now lost it pretty heavily against both Nine and Sangal, so maybe that is a bit of an opening in here for Eyeballers, but I don't know. With the performance we've seen on Mirage, I just don't see exactly what they're going to do unless players like Heap start showing up. JW maybe finds a bit more consistency if Golden keeps performing, and they need Pepsor and Pi also to take it up a notch or two as well, because everyone just looked incredibly flat there on Mirage.
Yeah, I think that's the real point, isn't it? We need to see Heap, Poi, Pepsor really raise their ceiling coming into the second map. We talk about Anubis as feeling very similar to Dust 2 and how it plays out. And when we talk about Dust 2, we always end up talking about AWPers. We end up talking about individual rifle moments. And for Monte, they've got that in bucket loads at the moment. Hades looked really lights out on map 1, and he does have a habit of when he gets going, he's not going to stop anytime soon. The good old Virtus plow comes to mind when a Polish player starts doing that stuff. And then you've got a solid base of riflers around him. Stiko, Demq, as we picked as our player to watch. He's a very solid individual. And then, I mean, Deher and Krasnov have got fantastic flaws. So it definitely feels like I think we need a wholesale change in the mindset from Eyeballers here. And this is where maybe that professionalism starts to come into play of the likes of JW and Golden, forcing sort of a, look, that was horrendous, hard reset, second map's a new map, take it one map at a time. Anubis isn't the most comfortable map on the world for either of these teams, but it's definitely one where if an individual can get firing and an individual can get going, they can start to take control of the situation a bit.
Yeah, and if we see Hades performing as he did, as you've said, in the previous map, it's going to be real hard to shut them down. So I think getting off to a good start here and not letting it spiral out in the early moments as they did on that first map is really the key to success for Eyeballers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we're going to struggle to say much more than that because, to be honest, we didn't see any more than that. Eyeballers didn't give us anything to work with. Their T side on Mirage looked very one-dimensional. I think to a certain extent, you can get away with that a little bit more on Anubis. Again, I'm going to do the D2 comparison because it's just there. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I'm just going to get it out there. There is only a set number of ideas that you can go with. There's only a set number of executes you can play. So maybe that makes it a little easier if you're looking at Eyeballers because there is only the A execute, the B execute, push through mid and split one of those sites, and maybe a couple of faster paced plays for them to really have in their back pocket. And you've got to imagine they've learned at least the util for those. But again, you head over to that CT side, and CT side Anubis is all about being proactive. It's all about being the one to take engagements on your terms, constantly prodding, poking, taking control, giving control away, and playing with a kind of synergy that we haven't really seen Eyeballers get going just yet. They've actually opted to start CT side, which is always one that's hotly up for debate on a map like Anubis. We'll have to see if it's the right decision. The call from Monte is almost immediately to wander in towards mid. They have got a decent little batch of utility. Now, when we do this on my pug team, it's a split towards the A-bomb site. This time, though, it's JW to rip the head off of Hades to start things off.
I was going to say the point that I think for Monte starting on the T side and controlling the pace is a big positive, but obviously the initial kill coming in favor of Eyeballers now quickly shuts that point down. They're still going to continue in towards mid. One player outside of A, looking like it will likely be the split in that direction, but they have a lot of presence in on mid to deal with first, and it's JW again, holding strong from the connector. Will eventually go down to Krasnal, and with Pi's HP being what it is, he really doesn't want to take this fight right now. If he can even take one kill, yeah, if he can take the one kill just to keep this advantage in their favor, that's what they need. Pepsor, those swings initially, giving his position away. Now Pi is in trouble, needs to take that frag, and he will just about manage it before Demq comes back with a bit of retribution. But he's not left standing all that long either, so it's Stiko all on his own. On lonesome, the bomb right in mid. He had a player below her in the water as well as a perfect position. It looked like he expected it. Did actually peek in up close. Unfortunately, just doesn't manage to win out that fight against the USP. The initial pistol round, as we said, was necessary for Eyeballers, and they find it.
Yeah, that was a sketchy one for Monte.
Yeah, I was going to say shaky. Sketchy is probably a better description.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it had too much force behind it. Didn't seem like they were entirely certain on how it was going to go. Just sort of brawled their way down mid.
Yeah, it was weird. Pepsar peaked mid on first there as well for eyeballers. And on mid, it felt like both sides were playing things a little bit strange. And
Yeah. No bomb plant, so the force buy from Monte is, well, it's again another point of contention. Should you really be forcing T-side if you've not been able to get that bomb down? They are going to go for it. The Eagles. Tech 9 in the hands of Krasnal. Diha, the only player able to upgrade, and he gets himself a Galil.
understand
It
the
is an
confidence.
MP9 forward buy here from the CT side, and it works out the right way to start things off. Poi deals with Krasnal. The man advantage is found, and now this looks, well, spectacularly one-dimensional. They've got a couple of smokes to try and crack open this B bomb site. One's going to go towards Temple. One's probably going to cover the cross. The counter util, however, from the CT side is good. And they have got the kitchen sink hit. 4 players ready and waiting on the B side defense. And, well, I think the T side might have to reconsider their options because JW's just stripped away their rifle through the smoke. And their MP9 of Heap is going to continue doing damage. This one's got disaster written all over it. Yeah.
Yeah, smooth sailing. There's not really much to point out about that, Monte. He just got slapped against the wall. Now they're going to be on a full eco. A very similar thing is likely to happen with the MP9s in play as well for eyeballers. They just keep on grinding up that economy early on, and this is the exactly the kind of start that they needed really into this map.
Just to build a little confidence, if nothing else. Start to feel your way back in. Realise that, look, yeah, we can get kills. It is something we're capable of achieving. Another half pie. This one even more lackluster than the last.
Talked them up too much. They're going to get ecoed.
I think that is a brave prediction. Hades wants it.
Or maybe I'm saying it to make sure it doesn't happen. Obviously, never jinx it, right?
Something like that. Golden at range. Should be able to clean this one up. It's an ugly fight. JW able to stabilize things though over towards A. Denki's position is known. Yeah, it is what it is. There's some tags in there, but no kills found. Eyeballers get through it cleanly. Monte realistically probably would have liked a couple of kills there just to keep the CT economy honest. Not able to get them though, and they'll just be shrugging their shoulders and going, look, we battered them on map 1. Let's do it again here. So the rifles will come out, and this is where it gets a little interesting for Eyeballers. They are going to try for the bonus round. 3-0 up, you can't blame them. Plenty of money behind it as well. If it goes wrong, they will be buying again, and it gives them an opportunity here to get a little fun with it. Try and really push the boat out strategy-wise. Let's see what the MP9s look to do. Heap's going to go towards A main. Pepsor and Poi split between B and mid, respectively, so really just a scatter bomb of MP9s. Poi's dropped out of mid, and he wants the proactive peek, but Krasnal very aware of the possibility, very aware of the finances of this situation as well, as he goes for a bit of a wander, forced back by a Molotov. Sticker has been dinked up in the meanwhile, so the damage is good at least, but early on, Monte have the man up.
Yeah, Golden was struggling with that fight earlier against the pistols, so he doesn't want to take it again now. The AK on the other side. Takes a little bit of damage and is warned off with the man disadvantage already for eyeballers. And a time as well on the clock for Monte to work with here with the pressure to sit slightly on eyeballers, and with a couple of weaker weapons, the MP9s and the Galil in play, eyeballers are likely to try and make a play or just take a massive gamble, which looks to be the likely outcome. Instead, they've stacked this heavily towards the A-bomb site. The timing here is the aggression. It is indeed still coming through from Heap. The MQ turns around, but again puts us back to that angle. It's an MP9, not really the weapon you want, unfortunately, but the nade to follow up might be able to get that second frag. At the very least, does the damage. It's the Deagle now, not able to get the finish. Golden's only good for 1, though, in the meantime, and Pepser's now left alone, so they shut it down, but that got very risky there.
That got sketchy from both sides. CT's peeking from absolutely everywhere. You could see the Observer just losing his mind, trying to type like he's entering the Matrix to catch all those kills. Yeah, that was sketchy. Sketchy in the extreme. Monte playing this one with a lot of caution, which is not something I'd anticipated. Playing it like they're respecting Eyeballers a little too much for my money. They will, of course, be able to buy into the next, but as we mentioned, that was the bonus round for the Eyeballers, so they've gone for a kitchen sink buy as well. JW's got his AWP flying at 5 and 2 so far in this second map. Rifles all around in support of it. What's the idea here? A little bit of speculative mid-spam to start things off. Donner's even from the damage exchanged. And it's a heavy B play coming in from the CT side. I spoke about how you've got to get proactive CT side of Anubis, and they're doing just that. Diha, though, ready and waiting, able to catch the early kill. JW just lurks a little too long on that corner, gives his life up for free. D has on for the 3-piece. Golden able to shut that down, though, and Poi's been given a bit of a gift by Sticko in towards mid. So suddenly this gets sketchy again. I mean, what was a very solid 4-on-3 is suddenly everything's leveled, and, well, Poi is really nicely placed on that headshot angle. It's a nightmare to clear, and he's got Heap up close on the left to back him up. It's an awkward spray for one, but Poi again chimes in with a critical kill and leaves Krasnal 11 HP in this 1v2. He's got all the time in the world to play with. Monte really haven't been playing this clock down, so potentially can double back to B. Golden is on the AWP, but has quick switch to the pistol, aware that the damage favors that slightly more spammable weapon. Monte will be desperate here to get the bomb down at the very least over towards the B-bomb site, and he is going to be allowed to do so.
Yeah, having a little bit of time to go ahead and position himself afterwards as well, but really it needs to be a fairly aggressive stance, I would say, to get that initial kill. With 11 health right now up against the 2, he's going to really struggle to actually play this one out as long as Eyeballers don't run the time down too much.
Yeah,
especially with a molly and a HE, yeah.
This should be job done here.
They might put the molly towards the connector side of things, though.
We'll have to wait and see. Golden's toying with it. There's the initial tap. Krasnal's really not got any choice but to call the bluff on that one. He's not got the health to swing into it. There's the molly, and the spread is going to be the question. Poi now on the tap, and oh my goodness, Krasnal tried it. He went for the trigger discipline, arguably should have taken the kill. Golden just about finds the reaction in time on the USP. And it's a 4th round on the board for Eyeballers. This CT side, a little sketchy perhaps in that round, but again, Monte just prodding and poking a little bit and getting drawn into fights that they really don't want to be taking.
Yeah, as you said, not the same confidence that we've seen from them back on Mirage. Surprisingly so, again, with this being their map chase. 80's definitely not fragging to the same level. Not quite yet, anyway. It's still fairly early days, but Eyeballers looking like a whole different team themselves. The economy's still a bit iffy, though, on that CT side. JW and Pepsor especially, so if Monte can take this round and deal with a somewhat weaker Biden in the following round, they do have a chance of breaking that economy quickly, tying things up at 4-4 and still having a shot to run out a good T side.
They could do with it.
Oh.
This has been a very tough start to things. Awkward timing for DemQ, not just quite in the right spot at the right time to grab Golden. Golden spotting that, has called for the support lines. The flashbang is good, but Golden just a little bit slow on the initial spray. MQ down to 19, but his headshot is better. There's the HE to follow up. That will get a kill, but it's cost him his life. Hades well positioned to back it up. And now Poi, well, we've seen how he likes to get proactive on this angle. He's got Heap to back him up here, and it baits Sticko in perfectly. He's had a nightmare in towards mid, the rifler. 1-5 so far. Hades has taken that as a read to get out onto this A side, but Poi has read it to a perfection. Catches the top of Hades' head through the smoke. And once again, Monte, they're putting themselves in positions early on of advantage and power, but they are not able to convert. JW on the crack angle here should have a freebie. Gets the leg through the wall, finds the damage down to 20, and at this point, yeah, get that AK in, get it spamming, lad. Boy's just looking to mop up through these smokes. Molotov misses its mark, and again, a little bit of sloppiness from Monte. Krasnal's at least managed to get out to sight, but Heap is ready and waiting. This is a done round. D is going to look to save. And I mean, Monte, considering where they were on map 1, this feels like a completely different roster of connected to the server.
Yeah, they've really come alive. Yeah. Monte, on the other hand, have just kind of fallen asleep. Everyone perhaps was a little bit too confident after their win on Mirage. You can be fired up, and then the break between the games, 15-20 minutes, you can very quickly cool off. I think this is a good time for that tactical pause to be used. Did we see any on Mirage? Maybe in the later
I feel like we did
moments.
at various points.
Yeah. We didn't see it early on when Eyeballers were really struggling, though, which was when I was... And it was a little bit strange that they hadn't called one. Monte a little bit more liberal with theirs. Problem is, they don't have much of a buy to actually go ahead and put to use right now.
I feel like if I'm a coach, I'm just screaming fast play. Like, your individuals for Monte have single-handedly taken over map 1. And yet, you've just played slow, passive CS here. T-side of map 2. And it feels like they're almost overthinking it a little bit, Monte. They're getting themselves into good situations, but they're thinking themselves out of the clutches. This time it's going to be Diha, Hero AK boosted up mid. It's a nice idea, but it's been spotted. Diha doesn't care. Swings in irrespective, and now that A-split is very much on. There's a bit of a timer on it because the fast flank is going to start coming in, but there's men there to watch that, and Demq is the man. The timing on this is everything. They should have accelerated, should have hit that A site with speed. Instead, they've opted to change the game and double back, and Demq's got no idea that stairs control has been lost. It's absolute carnage. Krasnal does very well to try and steady the ship, and he should have brought his team around here because Heap and Pepsor, well, they've not got a lot of CT economy behind this one, and 2 on 4, I'm not sure how much longer they can justify giving it a try, although Pepsor, well, he fancies it. Finds an early pick, his teammate adjusting into Speedway. Krasnal there to put him down finally, and Heap, despite getting the kill onto Hades, is going to have to bail out a dodge. This will be a round, or will it? Heap's thinking. He's thinking maybe if I drop E-box, maybe if I shift it all the way around to B main, they won't expect me to be there. I've got a defuse kit. HE and a flashbang. Neither T-side player is looking that way just yet. But the pace with which Heap is taking this suggests that instead, he's going to be looking for exits.
Yeah, they don't really have the money to throw this AK away, though. Up drops down as well, so he's going to be likely just surviving here. Backing out just as Sticko is on the way. Could be awkward, actually. No, Sticko doesn't extend that far in the end. So a second round finally being picked up for Monte with this AK saved over the buy is pretty good for eyeballers as well. People probably have to drop Pepsor. Yeah, there you go. And they've got pretty much everything they could ask for, but as I said, it still gives Monte a good chance now to come to life. If they take this round, it's an eco, and the next for eyeballers, Monte would likely be up towards 4, and at that point would maybe even still have a chance to get towards 7, but at the very least would be in a decent enough position.
Yeah, they do lean a little CT. Eyeballers lean a little T though, so...
Yeah, balance itself out.
Yin and yang. I mean, this one really has just felt like Monte are overthinking it so far. I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
The amount of times they've put themselves in advantageous positions and then gone for some kind of a rotation that just doesn't feel on. This time they're simplifying the play. Take in towards A main. Smoke is there to cover the initial in. And now they've got firepower here. Wait for that smoke to fade. Maybe even go through this CT smoke. Util's going to go over the top. There is 2 players here. A third on fast rotation. Flashbangs over the top are good, but the counter flashes are even better. Poi doing what he can. JW rotating in from that mid position. Does a fantastic job. Buys his team the man advantage with a quick double kill. Bomb out in no man's land as well. Buys a lot of time. These smokes are going to fade quickly, and Diha knows it. He's got to get that bomb down urgently. Trying to give himself some kind of an afterplant, but he's stuck at Fishtail. Hades will cover him from heaven. Timing's good. There's the opener, but immediately traded back. Hades has got it all to do. 1v1. Flashed off his angle. The plant is good for him here. It's a game of timings between the 2, and Hades wins out. A big triple kill in the afterplant. He's been quiet so far, but he shows up when Monte need him worse, and, well, need him most, rather. And look at the economy. Eyeballers are broke.
Yeah, this is really worst case scenario for them now. We were thinking very optimistically when we thought Monte would be able to go ahead and take those few rounds in a row to actually break the economy. They have managed to get themselves into that position now to have a very easy round here, I would imagine, with only a Deagle and a P250 being purchased up.
There's the Jinx, in case anyone was wondering.
You've got to say, I want to keep things spicy.
1 Deagle, 1 P250. Monte very much operating a if it ain't broke, don't fix it look here. They're going to take the same A main control with the same flashes, same smoke. And for now,
alone on mid with his P250, and they've stacked everyone else towards B. And
yeah, they are going to take the control here though, and Sticko is a little bit lonely. If they'd kept going on that push, that could have got a little bit ugly. JW is going to play ahead of the Molotov here, and Sticko, how hard do you clear this corner? Very is the answer, and he does a good job of it too. Now he's going to be under pressure in towards mid. There's a lot of bodies coming his way and not a lot of bullets left in that Galil. He hightails it out of there. Calls in the support lines, but Pepsor and Poi, a kill each. And this is getting very worrying. Poi flying from above gets himself a kill as well. Missed smoke from the T side as they look to get this bomb down. And this one's on. There's rifles recoverable. Somehow, some way, with just a Deagle and a P250, Eyeballers have found themselves a man advantage. Can they afford to throw away this firepower going for the retake, though? Poi's going to have a little bit of a look in. Epsor working his way down from Con. Golden backing up his man on the AWP. If they can get an early pick here, this is very doable. It's an ugly spray from Diha, and there it is. Demq asked to clutch up. Golden holding his nerve on the angle. AWP. He wants to try and tap that bomb, and Demq looks the wrong way. One Deagle, one P250, throwing a bit of a jig from Dean, and Eyeballers have got 6.
They destined this. This is
He
not my
wrote the
fault.
script, boys.
Yeah. Oh, Monte are going to be kicking themselves that they've let that one go. $1,000 worth of investment, that was all. And now, the economy for the T side is the one that's on edge instead. They're going to be able to pull out some AKs. A couple Galils. No, only one Galil even. Likely 2 Mac 10s. But it's not a great buy. Eyeballers, if they take this, get not only a 7th, but probably an 8th round off the back of it as well. And at that point, they've got themselves pretty firmly in the driver's seat.
I think I'm in shock. I genuinely don't know how Monte have managed to lose that.
We knew it was going to happen after I said they couldn't.
They're going to go faster towards B here. It's understandable. The slow pick play really hasn't worked for them, so they're just going to burst straight out onto the site. There's plenty of bodies here to receive. Golden takes advantage of his teammate's dink and then flying through the air tries to find the trade. It is a 3-on-3. Bomb is going to go down. Not a lot of util to hold on to this afterplant, and Heat is in a good spot here. If he can take the E-Box player out, 2 on side of sight are in very sketchy spots indeed, but Sticko, he's had a rough old start inside of that mid-hold. Now he's starting to show just what he's got in the back pocket. Boy smoke bounces off of I don't know what, and it ends up behind him, so that's going to get a little sketchy. Smoke out towards the E-Box from JW, gives the game away. Sticko finds his kill. And Poi, whilst he finds one, is immediately traded back. So the sketchy buy does it against the full buy of Eyeballers. The full buy of Monte couldn't do it against a Deagle and a P250. Someone tell me how that makes any sense. I'll give you a clue.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
No. This is the sort of scrappy game I was hoping for. I was thinking we'd probably get it if we somehow managed to get to a third map. This weird back and forth where teams are losing rounds they shouldn't lose, but yeah, we're getting it here and now, and this is a just good enough buy for Eyeballers that they won't win this one.
It is. Yeah, this is something. JW's got the AWP. Poi's got a rifle. Everyone else is on Deagles. AWP's going to go for a wander in. I think Pepsor's seen him there, at least on radar. Smoke goes out. Missed shot from Hades. Does again look like Eyeballers have... Well, not Eyeballers. Monte have only got one place they want to take this. And Eyeballers have got some nice counters coming in now. They're pushing out A main very proactively. Nobody is watching that for the T side. So almost immediately they can start to gamble their pieces in towards this B bomb site. 3 players now inside of the site. 2 on a fast-paced flank. And, well, maybe, just maybe, Monte don't want this. Maybe they're going to try and work their way back. And maybe they're going to work into the Deagles. Or are they? Krasnal does well. Deals with Heat. Resets this round just a little bit. Still a 3-man stack. Poi boosted up on the rifle to see what he can find. And with 50 seconds left on the clock, there's nowhere else for them to go. Krasnal, though, deals with JW's AWP. Buys them the 5-on-3, but like I said, they are still, at the moment, looking to wander into the stack. Does it matter, though, as Diha has dealt with the M4A1 of Poi, and it is just 2 Deagles against the world. Make that 1, make that none. Monte, they've made their mistake for this map. They are not going to make it again.
Yeah, I told you, the buy wasn't weak enough for them to just pull off a crazy win. They had an op in play, unfortunately. But yeah, no, Monte taking a clean round, bringing themselves back to 5, and somehow having already salvaged this half into an almost unthinkable position just 5 or so rounds ago. Well, a good shot, of course, that's tying things up, heading onto their CT side. Eagles and 5-7s, though. They are to be feared, as we know. He has a full set of utility to back it up as well, and Poi is just going crazy. Okay, no one else is here right now either. Everyone else was in behind that smoke, so no one was quite ready to catch his aggression, but now he's decided to stick around and put himself in a pretty much unwinnable position there. A triangle of doom, a player on every side of him. He had nowhere to fall back to and just walks directly into the op crosshair. Diha takes a little bit of damage. Does spot that aggression early on out towards B though, and forces him to go ahead and give up on it. Instead, I think they're actually going to rotate over and stack towards A, maybe mid.
I like the idea. Sticko's had a really tough time on these angles. Put him under pressure again and put him in a place where he's going to struggle again. Diha trying to bail his in-game leader out, but it's a one and done. Couple of rifles now recoverable as well in towards mid for this CT side. This round is not a done deal. Util comes out, and I mean, Monte are very one-dimensional here. They've only got one site to hit, and at the moment, the CT side have read it well. They are actually going to aggress into the site itself through Golden and Heap. Heap's going to work his way onto the headshot angles on Bricks. Golden, we've seen this setup before. That previously it was Heap towards top. This time it's Golden. There goes the Util, and what can these two players get done? Lovely shot from Krasnow. Golden trying to be the hero with the Deagle again, but it's one and gone. As JW is left to try and clutch up. From 5-1 up. Surely they can't let it go to 6-all honors even as we head to the halftime. JW wants a gun. There's plenty of them around. Bomb plant is good for main though, and both players lying in wait. No kit for JW either. Surely this is an impossible task. Hades posted on the angle. JW wants the shoulder peek and gets it. Krasnow now thrust into the 1v1. Spotted out. JW, you've got to go for the clearance, and he can't quite clear it. 6-all as we head to halftime. Well, you have to say Eyeballers dropped the ball a little bit there. 5-1 up.
Yeah.
And it ends 6-all. Both teams heading to their favoured side, so still very much all to play for. But honours even at the end of the first half was not how it felt like it was going to be at the start. Pressure is back on the Eyeballers. to have some impact here, and they are going fast with it. Straight down mid, no messing about on these opening aggressions, just shouldering, firing and flying. Mystico takes an early dink. They may actually look to double back, and indeed they do. Into the B-bomb site, they're going to head. Diha can't get anything done with the Julies. Demku's set of his own does find at least a kill, but he needs something from the side players here. Krasnal doing what he can, up close and personal. Somehow those Julies don't land a single damn bullet, and Pepsor, well, now he's in trouble. He's flanked out from every single side at once. There's nothing he can do. And JW inside a temple, from an initial dink on an opposition, almost a 4v5 in their favour, has found himself 1v4. Monte giving him absolutely nothing, as they should do, just holding their angles, waiting for their timing. They don't know where this man is. He could be anywhere. Sticko in towards CT, really placed as the early warning sign for any flanks, but he's got there a little quickly. Krasnal aware of the possibility. Can't quite finish his food on the first peak, but now there's players left, right, and center. JW looking for a vintage moment here. Does get the headshot onto Hades. Now Krasnal and Sticko are both low. JW able to pivot on the 180 and get Sticko, but he won't find any more. Demq's Julies with a triple save Monte their blushes in the pistol round and set them on the path for victory.
Yeah, I like the idea from Eyeballers. A similar initial approach to what we've seen from Monte on their T-pistol, except for with a lot more confidence. Definitely a much quicker play in towards mid, then went back, dropped down, pretty much got into B, just weren't able to overcome Demq and those dual Berettas, unfortunately. Krasnal also popping off with a couple of important frags, of course, and that gives Monte the chance now to start extending their lead on the CT side after a very rough start to the map initially. Now to actually be in the lead, this is, I would imagine, a difficult spot for Eyeballers to be in, a little bit of a tilting one. They managed to
Definitely
reset the mentality between maps, but very quickly it's just spiraled again.
No bomb plant in the previous, of course, so this one a very full eco.
Yeah.
Hades looking to take full advantage as his Demq just, mopping up the kills. Hades wants that AWP sooner rather than later. Just go for it. Why not? No armor. Glocks. They're not going to be able to get much of anything. Hades flies through them. Gets himself in a perfect position if he wants to pull out the big green in the next round. Could go for the bonus, of course. 3 MP9 still on the board, but yeah, Hades having none of it. Straight to the goal. Eyeballers immediately under pressure. They will be able to get this rifle buyout, but they're lacking a bit of util and they're lacking a big green gun.
Yeah, Hades has been pretty quiet on his one so far this map. I mean, the T side of Anubis is not a fantastic place for hopping, in fairness. Set himself up a little bit easier now that he's on the CT side around this A-bomb site. We'll see what success he finds. As you said, it's only rifles for Eyeballers. The utility could be better as well. And, well, it seems like they're just going to hit us with a standard default in the early moments, maybe expecting the aggression from Monte instead. Considering there is a couple of MP9s still in play, that is a realistic possibility. It seems more so like they're going to push around A main, and well, that's with the op and the rifle, as you can see, and Hades catches the initial kill. There's zero backup for Heap. I was going to say Diha should be able to catch this player below him, but Krasnal actually followed up with the aggression as well and goes down before Diha can get the revenge.
Oh, Hades saw it. Knew what was coming his way. Can't quite capitalize. The man advantage is still there, of course, for the CT side, and well, they are just pushing everything. A main control has turned into stairs control. It's about to turn into T side control as Sticko deals with Poi inside of the B bomb site. I feel like Eyeballers just don't know where to look right now. Everywhere they look, they're getting shot in the back, and JW tagged down low, just trying to find anything he can. It's very reminiscent of the pistol, this. Tagged up again by a HE, and it just feels like Monte timed their aggressions really nicely, put their rifles in positions to have impact. And this is much more like what we wanted to see from them, much more like what we saw from them on Mirage, dealing with Eyeballers forced by lovely timing on their aggressions. And Eyeballers without a bomb plant looking at a really rough half-buy.
Yeah, it's not good. As you said, the half-buy, some Kevlar and pistols, but I wouldn't imagine there's going to be a lot of utility to back it up, and really Monte shouldn't have too much trouble. I mean, maybe jinxing it again, let's see. But yeah, they've got everything they could ask for on that CT side, the nades, the mollies. As long as they don't make any big mistakes, shouldn't be too much of an issue, although right now both players are really aggressive, one in towards connectors. Krasnal backed up by Diha, who's pinned in the back corner. Okay. They do at least keep the trades equal before going down. Not allows Hades' off to find a little bit of success then as well. 3-on-2, there's an M4 for Heap, and, well, he doesn't quite win out that fight, unfortunately, not even dealing any damage. JW's all alone, did almost pull something off on the pistol round, but isn't going to get much of a chance now with that Deagle, unfortunately. Hades is starting to wake up a little bit, as we can see. He extends the scoreline for them up to 10-6, and, well, if eyeballers don't find success here and now in this gun round, then it's pretty much all over.
Yeah, it's one of those rounds where in any other situation, a couple of kills and maybe even skimming a bomb plant would be a fantastic return. But eyeballers, again, very similar to map 1, are just running out of opportunities. This one, a must win. Demq and Hades really coming into their own on this CT side. Krasnal slows down a little bit, but still providing plenty of impact. And that's the problem. That's what we talked about with this Monte lineup, is that there are so many individuals who can have those impact moments, pull those big kills out of nowhere. Aggression again called towards B main. Double flash over the top. Doesn't really blind Pepsor up as much as I think the CT sub had hoped. And counter flashes back in, make this awkward. HE's exchange. Damage going both ways. Poi wants to try and press the issue in towards E-Box in the meanwhile, but can't quite find his mark. And now the push starts to come through. They know they have to trade this out cleanly. They know they've got Dihar stuck as well. A Molotov towards main makes absolutely sure of it. And he's got such a fight on his hands. Does very well to even get one. But it leaves Hades completely solo, and he knows he's got to try something a little bit out there here. Spotted out. Poi still working his way through connector. Hades aware of the possibility, but just a blurry scope betrays him at the moment. He needed that AWP most. And with the man advantage, Stiko has caught half the timing here. He's swept into the B bomb site. That will allow him to get that kill onto Poi, but the A bomb site has been left completely open in the meanwhile. JW going to run the bomb round as Heap takes full control.
Yeah, has the deep control, as you said. Plenty of time as well. That rotation is miles away, so they'll be able to actually both set up if they want in towards this position. Bomb goes down, and well, Monte need to get a move on. They have a couple of mollies, a flash to work with as well. Both players moving in from A main.
I'll tell you what, they really need a smoke here. Pop flash is going to go in. But with the bomb planted heaven side, one working con, one working heaven itself. Molly onto the site actually helps the T side out a little bit. Buys them a couple more seconds as they work their way back in. There's the second molly towards heaven. JW's on con, but there's another molly for the bomb. And Demq, yes, he gets the kill, but someone's got to get on that bomb like now. Stiko is desperate to do it. He's going to just rely on Demq to trade him down, and he can't quite find the shot in time. You can see the frustration. Had to cover heaven and bricks simultaneously there and just pick the wrong one. It's a simple 50-50. 7 on the board for the eyeballers. A rare moment of redemption and an opportunity now. I mean, the buy's still going to be very solid for Monte, but they are back in this one, the eyeballers.
Yeah, keeping themselves alive for the moment. The economy starting to run out as well there for Monte after this investment. They've got everything they really need for now, but force buy wouldn't be too likely in the following one. Only a couple players really having the money for it, so eyeballers have a shot at potentially getting a second round for potentially the price of one off the back of this one if they can make it happen. Unfortunately, they've already used quite a bit of what limited utility they have to work with. They've got a Galil in play as well, or actually 2 Galils. The early control around mid didn't really pay off for much. JW just took a little bit of nade damage on his lurk as the rest of them set up now towards B, where there's a very heavy presence already for Monte.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. Hades is in a good spot to deal with this. Push starts to come in. Poi takes a dink. Can't quite convert. Hades inside of the site looking a shotgun AWP. Does very well. I don't think he meant that second shot to connect, but it does anyway, and who cares? Pepsor next up inside of the site. 2 on 2. As he manages to clear Krasnal out, that opens up a plant. Man inside of the site not going to be cleared out by that molly. JW tagged up by it, so information gathered at the very least. But Pepsor, he's lying in wait. He's biding his time. He wants the timing shot, but it's not going to come through. Stiko and Demq combine beautifully. And as soon as they make a mistake, Monte find a way to rectify it. 11 on the board. I'll have to see what the loss bonus looks like. It will be a buy again for the eyeballers, but they are running on fumes right now. Anything they do seems to immediately be shut down thereafter. Monte have got the read on them.
I mean, we did go with the prediction even before we knew the map pool that we were siding with Monte. The maps then were a little bit interesting choice-wise for eyeballers, and I think may have even pushed us a little bit more in that direction. It's just been a real struggle. Bar that initial stretch arounds they found here on Anubis, of course. They never really got into the first map, and well, as soon as they hit a little bit of resistance here on Anubis, they really struggled to find anything again.
This is their moment, though. If they were to start pulling something back, Poise looking solid, 17 kills. Can they pull off a little bit of magic? 4 rifles. JW, the vet, takes the sacrifice, drops to the Deagle. He'll be the bait. It's a double mid setup between Stiko and Hades. Stiko needs an early kill here. Smoke towards the doors is just to try and give the idea that he's not lurking, and indeed it works out well. Only a 1-for-1 though. Could have done with a second kill there as Hades now smoked off, is in trouble. And the A-site player Ademq has got a lot of angles to watch at once. Does very well to get that Molotov down. Bails out before it becomes too sticky a situation, but it is going to be a A-site split. That second molly, a split second too late. Demq does well for 1. Hades now there to back his man up with a big double kill off the AWP, and Heap, well, his dreams of winning this round are left on the floor in tatters. Demq will be the man to finish the job. 12-7, Monte are on the precipice of getting their second victory of ESL Challenger League Season 48.
Yeah, another similar investment here to try and again make something happen, but it does just seem like eyeballers at the moment are a little bit outmatched. Monte are in form, and well, Hades, as soon as he started to wake up again, Demq is having a really strong game. Krasnal also. This is more what we were expecting from Monte. We were surprised by how poor they were actually performing here initially. Shot missed by Hades though. We haven't been getting a lot of those. Even the ones he misses were hitting. Not as intended targets.
Definitely been rolling the dice a little bit on the AWP, but he's been fantastic. Krasnal really stepping up on this map as well as Hades and Krasnal. Well, you couldn't write it. They find a killer piece. Golden at the very least. Able to find 1. It's a rifle to be grabbed, but what's the idea here, Golden? I think that spray is just an illustration of how this map has gone. The counter call has come in. Aggression is coming through from Monte's CT side. And it's occupying ground that has just, and I mean just, been given up by the eyeballers. Krasnal gets 1. That's bombed down. Golden now realizes the situation he's in. Diha, this is a tough old angle to clear. And actually, Golden on the drive-by gets the better of him. And that opens up an alleyway in towards this A site. Heap already proactive up on platform. Golden looking to join him now. It's a game of timings. Demq needs a big first shot, and he finds it. Heap last man up. Molotov onto the bomb. Hades. Demq wants your ore, but he's not getting it. 20 kills, honors even between the two of them as we go to the end of map 2. It is a clean 2-0 victory from Monte. And I think, realistically, the writing was on the wall very early on in map 1, Dean.
Yeah, they were just the better team today. I think there's no doubt about it. They had to set a little bit more to play for as well. The current position being on the edge of putting themselves kind of safely in that middle group, and I think this win pretty much do that, as we were saying before. Eyeballers, on the other hand, have had a very rough start to the season.